I'm not sure what to say. I am. I'm still in a little bit of shock. Um, Good news, all good news. Good shock. So um, this weekend I went out and did play the locals. The boys came with me for moral support. They didn't. They decided not to play. They just wanted to be there, and I won. There were 11 players, 4 rounds. I played Amber Steel Aggro, which is I like aggro decks. My first set championship, which was for uh, goodness, it was for Azurite Sea. I played Amber Ruby aggro, which it was good enough for seventh place. So there's that. But Amber Steel aggro really did the trick for me tonight. So my first match was up against a Blurple player, and he admitted that it wasn't the deck he was planning to play. It wasn't the deck that he was familiar with. So I did take it 2-0, but he was. I don't think he was quite as accomplished at piloting it as he wanted to be, by his own admission. Second round, I played a mirror match against another aggro player, and what that came down to was who went first. So the first game I went first and won. Second game she went first and she won. Then third game I went first and I won. So it took it 2-1. Exact same thing happened in round three, where it was the mirror match, Amber Steel aggro. I won the first game. She won the second game. I won the first game, and it was the player who went first. And then the third game, or excuse me, the fourth game, I went up against another Blurple player, and I won 2-1. He outclassed me the first game when he went first. I went first, second game, and he wasn't able to keep up. He got in some bad draws and couldn't keep up. Third game, I honestly didn't know if I would be able to pull it off, but I managed it. So I'm just in kind of in shock. I've never managed anything like this before, but yeah, like I said, it was good enough for first place overall, which came with 6 packs, 5 Fabled and 1 Shimmering Skies. So we'll definitely open those up on the channel and show you guys what we get. Hopefully, get some good stuff. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I'll break down this deck as well, and we can talk about what worked, what I think I might change, because this is the deck archetype I think I want to take into set championships in the next few weeks. So yeah, let's go from there. So here is the deck list that I took to locals, and I actually had a lot of fun with it. Not just because I won, but also because I enjoy playing aggro. It moves fast. It doesn't require as much thinking, so it's good for a newer player or a younger player or someone who's just tired of thinking. And for me, I like to classify myself as that third one because I was playing Ruby Sapphire Shark in the last meta, and that was a brain trip for sure. But aggro's nice to play. I really enjoyed it. I did it for set championships for Azurite Sea. Back then it was an Amber Ruby build, and it was good enough for seventh place. So always, it's a strategy that's near and dear to my heart. Couple of highlights if you're going to build this aggro deck. Like there's a lot of different variations of it out there, so you can kind of pick and choose what you want to do. Obviously, highlight Tiana. She's fantastic in this build. That protection is great when it's active, and even when it's not active, her ability, just the threat of her ability, makes your opponent have to reconsider what they're doing. Kind of in that same vein, Nala. I love this card. I loved it from the moment they previewed it. I'm glad I've got a playset of it. I think she's a 4 of in this deck. The problem or the challenge that you're going to face there with both Tiana and Nala is the fact that they're uninkable, which that's if you're running 4 of each, that's 8 already, and you don't really want to get much higher than that. Though you can kind of get away with it in an aggro build because you're so low to the ground. Like a lot of decks, maybe you're running two different 1-drops, 2 different 2-drops, but here you can see I've got a lot more than that. Another card that I'll highlight is Aurora, just because I like it. Her ability to get Mulan out for free is nothing to sneeze at, and then her ability to get Tiana out for cheaper is great as well. Of course, Lady, her ability to drop a cheaper card for free is that 2-for-1 is just so nice, especially if it's something valuable like Tiana, or excuse me, Nala with her lore ability, or Doc with his card draw on him. So those are some of the great cards that I think you really need to add into this deck if you're going to build aggro. Cards that I would recommend not doing. Oh, I don't know. I'm still on the fence about the rhinos. Like, I'm not entirely convinced that they're what I want, because more often than not they ended up as ink. I'm not willing to abandon them just yet, but I'm looking at them. I'm keeping an eye on them. The one card though I would recommend not running is Julieta Madrigal. On paper, her ability is really nice. In practice, though, with this deck, either my opponents weren't challenging me, or they weren't leaving my stuff alive. So her ability doesn't mean anything if there's nothing to heal. So moving over to the version of the deck that I have, the new version of the deck that I've built. Nothing major, just a few tweaks there. Like I said, Julieta's out, which gives me room for Be Our Guest. Because having just a little extra help in filtering down to the right character is nothing. I think it's a worthy inclusion. I also trimmed down a copy of the Troubadour, a copy of Doc, and a copy of Pete, because as good as those cards are, I don't think they're 4-ofs in this build, which let me put in Mr. Arrow. One of my aggro opponents played Mr. Arrow. I like that. The resist is nice, but I like that he is a 2-lore body with 2 ink. So he's another target that Lady can bring out. He can do some damage on his own, and I think it's a good spot to add in there. So this is the version of the deck that I want to try out next, and hopefully maybe get some reps in against a really good Emerald Sapphire player, so I can kind of get in shape for set championships and the CCQ coming to Vegas in November. Now, one other thing that I need to talk about are the 2 cards that I'm still considering in the back of my mind. I haven't yet pulled the trigger, but one of them is Daisy Duck, because Daisy's just good. Having 2 lore on a 1-cost body, even for her downside of potentially filling your opponent's hand, it's nothing to sneeze at. The one thing that's held me back is she's also an inkable, and with this version 2 build, throwing Daisy in there means either losing one of my uninkables, which I don't want to, or replacing one of my inkables, probably Rhino, but that would put me at 15 uninkable cards, which is, on the one hand, it's kind of high. It makes me a little nervous, but on the other hand, it is an aggro deck, and everything's pretty low to the ground. Like, if I've got more than 5 ink in my inkwell, then I'm probably losing, because if I haven't won by turn 5 or 6, I'm probably not going to win. It's worth considering, I think, and I am considering it. Another card that I'm also considering is Lilo, Best Explorer Ever. This is for me, it's a potential stopgap against the aggro builds. The ability to remove those small creatures like an aggro deck has, it might be worth including this in to get that challenger across the board, for even if it's only for a turn. So anyway, that's the deck I had, the deck I've got now, and the possibilities that I'm looking forward to in the future. So now it's your turn. What are your thoughts? Are there cards that I've missed? Are there cards that I should take out anyway? Leave your thoughts down in the comments, and while you're down there, consider giving the video a like and subscribing to the channel so you don't miss any of our other content. And I'll just say thank you so much. We really appreciate being here, and hope to see you in the next one.